Evening all, and welcome back to Kerbalism. Now, we join Valentina and Jenlan on their return from the moon. Obviously, Jenlan had just been rescued and needs to be brought back down safely. And I am toying with the idea of not actually... What's gone on here? Okay, last time I left this, we were on our way down to enter orbit. We were... I dropped my periapsis to 50 kilometers. Bear with me a moment. Right, yes. Last time I left it, I've just checked the footage, and my periapsis was at 50k, and I should have been in the atmosphere. And we were on our way down, and I saved it and left it. I've come back to it. And now we're in an orbit up here, which is extremely confusing. Really not sure what's going on here. Okay. I honestly don't know what's going on there. I've obviously just come back to the game and jumped to the craft, and can't say I noticed in the tracking center where it was. I just clicked the list there and fly. Okay, so something has happened there, and we're not quite on re-entry yet, so okay. Right. Let me have a look here. We have 2 days worth of food, which does pose a bit of a problem because it's a day to get out there and then a day to get back again. So our Kerbals will die. Need to bring my I need to bring my apparatus down. So let's do that. Let's bring this down. I'm going to watch my fuel usage here because obviously I don't want to completely burn off all my fuel. I'll drop down to about a minute, I think. There we go, that'll do. Right, so now we're 2 hours away. Okay, that's not too bad. And then at there we can slow down to come in. I'm really not sure what's happened there. What's wrong with that? The batteries? What's wrong with the batteries? Oh, of course. Let's do something like that, shall we? There we go. Right. So yeah, I'm really not sure what's actually happened there. As I said, I've just come back to the game, and apparently we are no longer on the same orbit we was before. That is weird. Oh well. Code alarm clock is still doing its thing. Okay, that's fine. Right. So let's do this. Point ourselves retrograde, fire the engines again, and let's put ourselves back into Kerbin's actual atmosphere so we can slow down and hopefully get rescued, or hopefully finish this rescue, I should say. So yeah, I think we'll drop down to 50k again, and I'll see those numbers. 81, oh mind you, they're up there, aren't they? So yeah, obviously we are coming in from a much closer orbit than coming from the moon, so we'll be going slow when we get there. So this isn't too bad, I suppose. And we'll do the same thing. We'll just go around, and as soon as I enter the atmosphere, I was thinking about firing the engine differently. Perhaps firing it orbital outwards when we get close to the planet. That way it would keep my periapsis in the atmosphere, but put my bring my apparatus down. But I don't really think we need that, if I'm honest with you. I don't think that's required. I did just see a message there about an error, and unfortunately I don't know how to bring up Kerbalism's log. There is a log here. Alert, crossing the radiation belt. Yeah, I think these logs are to everyone. Batteries are almost dead. Oh, that's for that one. What about this one? Oh, the logs are the same for everybody, by the looks of it. Ah, there was a problem with the solar panels on the altimetry satellite. We were able to fix it remotely this time. Okay. So yeah, that is something that I again, might have been there for a long time. I remember saying about it'd be nice to see it because sometimes you miss what's going on there. But yeah, so that's good. I now know where that is. That's helpful. There is a log button on whatever craft we're going to. Down the bottom here, you have log lists what's going on. The last couple of messages, and it appears to be no matter what craft you pick, the logs are all the same. So that is just literally the current logs. That's cool. That's fine. Okay, we are cooking. So I'm kind of reluctant to fire the engines. I know that sounds strange, but no, actually, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just fire the engines. I was thinking maybe I could save them for save the engine for actual descent, slowing me down, because sometimes it's a little bit scary coming down. I do need to change this parachute actually. Let's bring it up to 2.5 kilometers. There we go. Because this is heavier. That single parachute can do it, but it fires a little bit late for my liking when it's set to normal 1 kilometer. So yeah, I think we'll do this. There we go. There's our engine fired out. So we're going to have an orbit or two before we get completely captured, and yeah, so I will come back when we're on our way down. Okay, so it only took another orbit, and I believe we're about to get captured. This will switch over in just a moment. And yeah, we are starting to heat up. Things are getting very, very toasty. I've just realised I'm on target rather than orbit. That was dumb. But yeah, I think we're going to be okay. Kind of hope so. But essentially we're going to come down nice and slowly. We are obviously still speeding up because we are slowing down very, very gently. But basically we just got to ride this out until we get there. I have changed the parachute up to be 2.5 kilometers. Stage Recovery told me when I built this that this could survive. It could quite happily land. It had like a 94% chance of surviving. Obviously it doesn't count the landing gear, so when I deploy that, that'll definitely help. But what I was worried about, because of its weight with the engine, the parachute simply wouldn't deploy early enough. They deploy 1 kilometer normally and then open for about 500 meters, but I'm thinking this would just, it wouldn't deploy in time and it would crash into the ground before the parachute opened. So yeah, I set that up to 2.5 kilometers. Hopefully it deploy by about 1.5, and then we'll float down nice and gently. So I will do this extremely slow re-entry, and I will see you when we're safely coming down. Okay, things are getting very, very toasty. I do think we're going to burn our solar panels off. That's an obvious thing here. They're going to go any moment now. But what I'm more concerned about is that... And one more. There we go. There's the solar panels gone. What I am concerned about is that central tank is getting warm. And that worries me a bit. And the engine's getting warm as well. Ooh, dear. Yeah, this is very worrying. Haven't we got any way to cool it? I can't tumble the craft. If I flip the craft over, it's going to go nose first because it's very aerodynamic this end. So I've just got to leave it pointing retrograde and kind of hope. Although the legs are getting warm as well, particularly that bottom one. That is worrying. Yeah, we're going to lose the legs here by the looks of it. Oh, that's really worrying. I don't know whether this can survive on the parachute landing on its Ah! Get down, get down, get down. Don't flip over. Please don't flip over. Okay, I'm going to leave the SS to do its thing. I'm not going to touch this. I think we're going to lose the engine as well. But... Yep, yeah, I'm going to leave it like that. That will kind of give us a bit of body lift. Which it is doing. Our vertical speed is dropping. Which is good. And we're actually going up. We are getting enough body lift from that unaerodynamic little I don't even know what to describe that shape as, but yeah, it's not very aerodynamic, but it is obviously giving us some body lift. God, I love Kerbal aerodynamics. But yeah, that's good, because obviously that means we will slow our horizontal speed down a bit more. We are coming down again, but we are slowing down again. It's not going to give us enough lift to take off again. Obviously we've got no thrust. But most importantly, the engine is cooling. That means we are slowing down, which is just what we need. I'm going to put the landing gear. Well, that appeared to balance the craft. Interesting. Let's stow that away again. What does that do? Was us to pitch that way? Well, that's interesting. It would appear that when you deploy the landing gear, it changes the mass of the vehicle, which... And it should change the centre of mass back, but I don't see it being able to change the pitch. Oh well. Yeah, I'm putting them out there because they're like fins. They might be able to slow us down a little bit more as well. Yeah. So, it looks as if we're going to be okay, actually. I think things might be alright for us. Just need to get our horizontal speed down before we run out of height. I have launched a parachute, so that can go. I should put some road troops on this as well. That would have probably helped. I think we're going to slow down to the point where we're going to... Yeah, we are. We're going to start ascending again. Which is all good, because that means our horizontal speed is dropping. Which helps all the time, because that's the speed I'm worried about. I need to slow down enough for the parachute to deploy before I run out of altitude. So, yeah. That's good. That is good. Who would have thought that would have been aerodynamic enough to lift? How very strange. Right, so I think we are finally on our last descent. I don't obviously normally record all of the re-entry process because it is quite long and slow, but with things being as touch to go as they were with the heat, I thought I will do. Because I'll be honest with you, I was kind of thinking this was going to explode. That was what I was going to get. It was going to explode from heat. It was just going to be too much. And yeah, things were just going to go terribly, terribly wrong. But they didn't. They didn't. Touch wood, they didn't. They haven't so far. We are slowing down, although not particularly fast enough. Would much prefer... override the SES here and try and pitch my nose down to try and get a bit more, if I can do another bounce through the atmosphere. Which I can. There we go. We are rising again. This is fantastic. And our parachute's out. We are on the home stretch. Okay, I'm going to put the land gear in. I think we might do better landing on that engine, although actually we're too fast. We're too fast for that. So no, put the landing gear out. Well, it was a little bit bumpy, but our Kerbals are down, and Jenlan, welcome to the space program. So a little bit of science recovered there. That's absolutely fine. A bit of money back, and obviously money for the contract for saving Jenlan, and Valentina has gained some experience, and Jenlan, obviously being rescued from the moon, has already accelerated to level 1. But I'm thinking that I need to level these people up a bit more. They need to go much higher than what they currently are. What's the other uniform for? The same as Valentina's. Yeah, I'm thinking about deep space. If you can take your Kerbals out of Kerbin's sphere of influence and then come back again, they get a lot of experience for that, just that little trip. Plus a bit more science. So I'm thinking of building a craft that could do that. So this is the sort of craft I've come up in that is capable of getting out of Kerbin's sphere of influence and hopefully back in. With obviously the life support required, because that's a fair bit of time to get out there and come back in. But there's a drawback to it. The first drawback being that it's really heavy and won't particularly take off. It can lift off like this, but I don't know how long it will really last before. Yeah, it's got a Delta V to get into orbit, and then I can enable this one here because that's not enabled. That obviously can take me out to the edge of the sun, into the sun's orbit, and then back in. But yeah, it's going to be nah. But it is too heavy. It's 40 tons too much. So we'd have to upgrade the launch pad to do that. Also, I'm not really happy with the thrust to weight ratio. I think I need to unlock some better engines first. But yeah, I think rather than stretching myself to do this, it is a possibility, but I think, yeah, rather than stretching myself to do this sort of thing, I think instead, realised I haven't actually put all my Kerbals in there, so maybe my life support isn't correct. 73 days, 73 days of water, 34 days of liquid oxygen. Maybe I'll bring a bit more oxygen, but yeah. But yeah, rather than setting my sights to leave Kerbin, maybe I should set my sights on the other little dot in the sky, the little one that might be made of mint ice cream. And Jeb and Bob are away. This is the Moonmus flyby. It's an upgraded moon flyby. Basically, it's got 3 solid state boosters. Yeah, why not? Yeah, it's got 3 of those, and also loads of science experiments on it, so we can actually get something from this trip to Moonmus. It does have enough food, water, and supplies to last them I think it's about 30 days worth of stuff. It takes 10 days to get to Moonmus, so we should be good for that. I have learnt my lesson and put a heat shield on the back of the pod. We will be dumping everything else, just bringing the pod back itself. So, yeah, that'll be an interesting sort of trip. But, yeah, I think this is all going to go pretty well. At least I hope. I have spent some money upgrading our mission building, so we are actually allowed to use maneuver nodes now, because I really don't know how to get the Moonmus without them. And a tiny little boost more, and we shall put ourselves into orbit. Nice and gently. There we go. Roundish orbit within 2 kilometers, that's fine by me. Of course, Moonmus is at an angle to us. And I cannot for the life of me remember how you exactly far to get to where you need to be. So I'm going to make a maneuver node, and refresh myself on how this works. Let's go out to Minimus. And it would be only a little bit away from us. Can't really add any okay. That was surprising. Yeah, that is apparently an encounter with Minimus. Just like that. Look at that. I think this one is pretty sure Minimus is when it's at 12 o'clock, you fire at 3. Meet it there. The moon is 4 when you meet it, and the Minimus is 3. Memory serves, it might be 4 o'clock as well. It does look kind of 4 o'clock-ish. But, yeah, it may be the same as the moon. I'm not entirely sure. I cannot remember for the life of me. But, yeah, let's go and have a look here. What are we going to do? We're going to have a southern encounter at 500,000 meters. Can I bring up my maneuver node from here? No, I cannot. I can't even see my maneuver node from here. There it is. So if I okay, 500,000's about the closest I think I can get, isn't it? Yeah, all these ones are just not really helping. Yeah, okay, so yeah, right. Oh, and our maneuver node is actually sort of like right around the corner. I do have better burn time installed, so it gives me a much more accurate burn estimate, and it gives me the countdown here, which is awesome. So yeah, that maneuver is like really ready for that, and 500,000 I think is close enough. I just want to do a flyby and come home. That's all I'm really interested in. We are just literally going to touch base and come back. How long is that? That's 10 days away. Before I start burning, let me just double check. We have 31 days. So yeah, we're good. We are good. So go. Okay. Yeah, 31 days. Take 10 days to get there, 10 days to get back. That leaves us 11 days worth of food. So, and water, which is good. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Absolutely happy with that. Oh, apparently I'm missing my maneuver node there. Okay. Do the oh whoa. Okay. We will be coming out here. Apparently we will be missing Minimus, okay? Let's turn retrograde and come back a bit. Obviously we are doing a very Minimus has got such low gravity, you've got to get very close to it to do anything. Okay, we will. Oh, the engine's very. Oh, there you go. Now loop, right, kill the mover node. 520,000 kilometers. We can adjust this on the way there, but more importantly, if I want to go, how do I reset? There we go. Reset. We'll be coming back, and we'll be 500,000 away. So that means I can change my descent easily to get caught in the atmosphere, which is excellent. That's exactly what I want to do. I don't want to go straying off into the unknown. But I may change our course a little bit further up just to get a little tiny bit closer to Minimus. Right, so I have a node set up here. I'm just trying to position the craft correct for it, which will put me 10 kilometers from the surface of Minimus. I'm not sure what the highest mountain is on Minimus, but from looking at it, I think that'll be fine. Obviously you can adjust it if we're going to get too bad later on, but yeah, let's warp to next maneuver node, margin 3 minutes. That's interesting. Thought it used to be a minute. Now apparently it's 3. Okay, I guess you can change that in a setting somewhere. Yeah, let's doesn't have to be done spot on the maneuver, to be honest with you. And I am going to kind of do it by eye anyway. Let's focus back over on Mimus here. And if I just fire this way very, very gently. I want to kind of get just on the equator, basically. That's kind of what I want to do. There we go. That's good enough for me. Feel that. That is 9 kilometers. Okie dokie. We are crossing the radiation belt. That's fine because I remembered to put shielding on these craft. I remembered that. That was one thing I kept forgetting in the previous playthroughs. Kept forgetting to put any form of shielding on the crafts, and my Kerbals were getting rather irradiated. Although I think they still do get irradiated. Even with all the shielding on there, they can still over time get irradiated, and I think Kerbalism recommends deep freeze to prevent that. Although I did kind of come up with a radiation scrubber. I don't know if I showed that off in the last series. I think I did, or I think I was talking about it, but I did figure it out on the old Kerbalism, but I don't know whether it would work on the new. But when it comes to it, I will try and figure that out if I need to. So yeah, right. Let's just speed up time here. Obviously, I rotated the ship ever so slightly. So, I do locked. Yeah, look at that. Whee! Hold on, that's free camera. There's orbital camera. Whoa, that's nuts. And then chase camera. Nope, not gonna get dizzy. Oh. Block camera, does it? Wow. Yeah, okay, we'll stop that. Yeah. System rotation obviously does that, and that will... Don't know why I started rotating that. I kind of thought it might hold it steady. But we shall accelerate time. And apparently we will watch the Space Center fly off of Kerbin and into the distance. Which is somewhat concerning. This, however, is even more concerning because I didn't pack a battery. Tunnel special control, tunnel scrubber. That's not particularly helping. Oh dear. This does have an alternator on it. I didn't pack a battery. I didn't think about going into Kerbin's shadow, and we're going to be in it for a long time. Yeah, it's going to be a very long time. I'm going to have to try and point this craft prograde using what little battery I have. And I'm going to have to fire the engine up to try and keep us with a little bit of electric charge. So let's get prograde there. Okay, let's fire the engine. Let's turn it down to like something like 10% or something. And fire the engine ever so slightly. Okay. So to keep our battery somewhat charged, we need about 3% of the engine. Obviously I want to charge the battery slightly, so I'm going to have to fire like that, which only gives me 3 minutes worth of fuel. We need to put it retrograde. We need to cancel this. We need to cancel this and come back. But will they make it back? Will they ever see the sunrise again? Will they ever find out if Mimus is actually made of mint ice cream? These are all questions that we're going to have to answer in the next episode. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Hope to see you again in the next one, and until then, as always, have fun.